Hello, hi, welcome to another episode of my MMA Diary. This week we will be previewing Bellator 157 Dynamite 2, headlined by Rampage Jackson and Ilir Latifi? No. Ishii. That's who he's fighting, Ishii. We're also going to be going over the UFC Ottawa card, which turned out to be pretty good. I don't know if this is going to be a five round fight. We'll just do 3 rounds. I don't suppose they'll have anything near in the middle of the country. United Center, that's Chicago, I'm pretty sure. Close enough to St. Louis, I guess. Yeah, we're also going over the UFC Ottawa card, a couple fights. And, yeah, we got Fight of the Week this week, which was an all-time classic. And, check the description of this video for a Twitter link to Claudia Gadelia's Twitter. If you're a man, you'll be interested in this post, or in this link here, so keep an eye out for that. But Bellator 157. Oh god, I gotta turn the TV down. Excuse me. We got Bellator 157 Dynamite 2. For Dynamite card, pretty weak. I mean, Chandler versus Pitbull, that's a pretty good fight, but it's sort of heavily weighted towards one way. Rampage versus Ishii, I have no clue what Ishii's all about, but I'm sort of thinking it's heavily favored towards Rampage, but then again, I have no idea about Ishii. Matt Mitrione versus Sekman Utafa. I think I've seen him fight before, but I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a good measuring stick to see if he's any good, if he can beat Mitrione. Mitrione's like a mid-level UFC guy. And then the soccer mom killer, McFarland versus Rebecca Ruth. I have no clue about that. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm going to pick, but I don't know if they're going to be, because who knows, you know, a lot of people like Rebecca Ruth. A lot of people like her. I've never seen her fight. But yeah, so here are my picks. We're going with the soccer mom killer, McFarland. She's a very pretty woman. She's a Pacific Islander. She might be Hawaiian. She might be Samoan. Maybe Philippines. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I'm just saying that she kind of looks like it. But yeah, that soccer mom knockout pretty badass. I think I saw her fight in Bellator once before. She looked pretty good. Rebecca Ruth, I don't know how old she is, but she looks like she's been through a few wars in her life. I read a preview of the fight, and they said that Rebecca Ruth tends to be like super aggressive and just sort of goes for it. The soccer mom went for McFarland, and she got her head taken off. But you know, Rebecca Ruth is obviously not a soccer mom, so I'm thinking McFarland. I don't know. That's a toss-up. Mitrione versus someone Utafa. Going with Mitrione there. What happens with UFC fighters when they leave is that they tend to be a tad bit disappointing in their early fights. Like example 1A there is Benson Henderson getting his fucking ass kicked by what's his face, Kreshnikov. Ooh, ducked.
In any MMA fight, if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube, because it's pretty freaky.
Good feint. Quick slip of the right. Latifi caught by that inside leg.
I think that Mitrione should be able to
looking for the single.
Should be able to beat him, you know. I mean, he's a pretty athletic big dude. Yeah, let's get up. From what I remember, I didn't look at a picture of the guy, but if it's the same guy I'm thinking of, he is definitely not in shape, the Sema Utafa guy. Definitely not in shape. Mitrione being pretty decent shape for a heavyweight, but I haven't seen him since he got his eye blown up by Travis Brown.
He's doing a really good job of timing these shots. Another nice kick, very solid.
That cut continues to get worse, and it looks nasty.
Whoa, hello.
Really threw a lot of power into that uppercut, but missed.
Wow!
Body kick, look at that.
Michael Chandler versus Patricky Pitbull. A lot of people are picking Chandler, and I don't blame them because Chandler's like one of the last great lightweights that, I mean, Bellator has produced some pretty good lightweights when you think about it. Eddie Alvarez, Will Brooks, Michael Chandler. Those are some serious dudes. A lot of people are picking Chandler, and I know it's wrong. I think that this could be wrong, but I'm picking the upset. I'm going with Patricky Pitbull. And it's not just because he like starched fucking Ryan Couture. Remember that? That was. It might have been at the first Dynamite show where he just got completely starched right in front of his dad. It was pretty bad. But he was in that kickboxing match. He looked pretty good in that. I don't know. I just think that Patricky Pitbull might have the answer, and that he might pull off an upset and get that lightweight title. It's so weird that Bellator just let their lightweight champion go. I know that he wanted to go, so it was kind of not. I had to book one last match just to hope that he might lose it, you know? Instead, they just let him go with the belt. It was weird. And then Rampage versus Ishii. From what I understand, Ishii is an Olympic gold medalist in judo. That's pretty impressive. And Rampage, with his MMA Hour interview that I heard last week, he seems like he's not really taking this seriously at all. And I saw photos of him at the weigh-in. I know it's like a catch weight of 215, I think. But man, he looked just chunky. Not a lot of muscle mass, but I just think Rampage. If it's wrestling versus judo, I'm gonna pick wrestling. If it's stand-up versus judo, I don't know, because those judo dudes, when they get you on their clinch, when they get you like in the clinch, they can just throw you around and shit.
Just over 3 now.
Big left hand. He takes the back.
Midway point.
I know this is the least exciting thing ever to see me on the messing around on the ground, not blocking any of his transitions and stuff, but I'm just having a good old time here. Last week, I was very frustrated. If you saw my last MMA diary, I was very frustrated. I had shit to do that day, and I was waiting all day for Fedor to fight so I can do my MMA diary and include what happened in this fight. And then frickin' it takes 6 hours for him to finally get out there. There you have it. It takes six hours of fucking fights for Fedor to finally fight, and then, I mean, it was a good fight. It was a really, really intense fight that Fedor lost. But yeah, I'm just going calm and chill in this episode, because that last episode I was pissed off how long it had to wait, and then I had to leave right away, so it was super abbreviated. I think I left out all my news from last week, And I'm not going to cover all that news again because fuck that.
Over again, ground and pound for the TKO finish.
But yeah. So yeah, I'm picking Rampage over Ishii.
Once again, here's Bruce Buffer.
But I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about any of the predictions on this card. I don't think it's that great of a card if you're calling it Dynamite 2 and Dynamite was like the big show from last year. But I'm excited. I'll watch it. There's also like Victory Fighting Championships or something on Fight Pass tonight. If Dynamite's bad, well, you know what? I can watch them on both. I got both my TV out here in the living room. I got my Xbox on the little TV. I can put my Fight Pass on there. Watch that. I can watch my Bellator on the big TV. Unless, of course, my girlfriend doesn't want to watch fighting, then I'm fucked. But, you know, whatever. Okay, so there you have it. That's my very, very poor Dynamite 2 coverage. There's Bellator 157, Dynamite 2. That's MMA and kickboxing combined. And then there's Bellator kickboxing right after, headlined by Joe Schilling and the dude who Superman punch KO'd him last time in MMA. I don't know, I forget his name. But yeah, so that's cool, I guess. What am I doing here? I'm not staying up to watch that Bellator kickboxing shit. No thank you. So we'll go over UFC Ottawa here. So I went, all in all, I picked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I picked 8 fights, and overall I went 6-2. And the 2 I got wrong are right there, bang bang. But we'll start at the bottom of the card here. I'm just gonna try and talk a little louder. I'm gonna lean back, get myself comfortable. So, Ali Bagautinov versus Jean Herrera was a good fight to start the card. Ali looked really, really good. Yeah, he came out of the gates. He pounded, ground and pound. I like that dude a lot. I know he got busted for EPO, but I like the dude. Do I not have game audio? Because what the hell? I don't know why I would have game audio when it's all quiet and shit. Oh yeah, I got game audio. Okay, yeah, whatever. Yeah, Ali looked really good. Randa Marcos here, she got her decision victory. She wasn't that impressive, but you know, good for her. I didn't like her red hair. Her red hair was like, really popped out there. Elias Theodoro versus Smiling Sam Alvey. Pretty boring fight. I thought this was going to be a lot more exciting, but Theodoro just sort of kept his distance the whole fight. Alvey was sort of frustrated. He wanted to get in there, but he couldn't just go at him. Pretty boring, but yeah, I picked it right. I thought it like I said, I thought it'd be more fireworks. Instead, it ended up being a decision. So that's why I picked a knockout, but ended up getting skunked on that. Joe Soto versus Chris Beal. Chris Beal was winning the first 2 rounds, pretty sure. And then Joe Soto came from behind in the third and got the sub. That was exciting. Jotko's KO of Tamden McCrory was pretty scary. Like, the barn cat just went stiff, and he's just like, ugh. It was pretty hard to watch. I felt pretty bad for Barn Cat. I like that dude a lot. So hopefully Jotko can sort of build on that victory. That was a scary knockout. Okay, so Joanne Calderwood versus Valerie Latourneau. JoJo looks pretty good. Joanne Calderwood looked pretty good. The spinning back fist in the first, that just sort of stunned Latourneau, and she went down, and I thought she was out. She ended up somehow able to grab her. Like, Latourneau is so tough. She's, like, legit tough. And then, in the second round, Joanne Calderwood kicked her in the body, and I don't know what happened to her. I never read, like, what happened to her ribs, or if she just got the wind knocked out of her, or what. But she nailed her in the stomach, and she winced, and then bam, right after that, caught her in the face a couple times. And then as she was still sort of recovering, Calderwood did a front kick to the face, and she brought her heel down on her chest, and it snapped her boob, or it snapped her breast, like exposed her boobs, but she had an overshirt on. So she's like, oh my god, did I get exposed? Like, shit. So she's holding her chest, and she like looked at the ref, like, it was such a heartbreaking look she gave the ref. My computer's spazzing out a little bit here. Okay. It was such a heartbreaking look she gave the ref, and like Calderwood was so nice. She's just like, if you need to fix stuff, just go ahead and fix it. And Letourneau was just sort of like shocked. She didn't know what to do. God, I felt bad for her. But everyone's like, oh, she got kicked in the boob, so she's complaining about getting kicked in the boob. And it's like, no, dude. It was like the most obvious thing ever that she had a wardrobe malfunction. You don't clutch your chest like that unless you're like terrified of something popping out, you know? And then Calderwood ended up finishing her in the second round. She kicked her in the body again, and Letourneau like winced and turned around, grabbed her stomach, and tried like walking away. And Calderwood ran up and kneed her in the thigh, and then bam, right in the face, right around her shoulder. And then she like transitioned into like a spinning back fist off the cage, and Letourneau went down. And let me just say, Jarin Valel, that referee, that fucking moron, every time I see him in the cage, he fucks up. And he's like one of the worst refs out there, like maybe as bad as Mizzagatti. What's his name? Tom Mizzagatti. Weird, that weird Texan dude with the weird mustache. He's like all skinny and shit. Like he's probably worse than him in my experiences. Like Valil's terrible. When Letourneau had her boobs out, he's like, "Come on, fight, come on, girls, fight, come on, fight." It's like, shut the fuck up, you dumbass. They're not fighting because something's wrong. It's not like you're gonna tell them that dude fucking sucks. I don't know how he keeps getting sanctioned for these fights. Like, he should just be stripped of his license and booted out. He's the worst. But yeah, after the victory, when they were interviewing Joanne Calderwood, they showed the replay of Valerie trying to grab her tits so that they don't pop out. And it's like, what are you doing, Fox Sports? Like, why, or UFC or whoever decided to show that replay? It's like, was I the only one who noticed that? Like, I told my girlfriend, she noticed it. She's like, yeah, malfunction. That's not her getting hurt or complaining or anything. That's just her trying to make sure nothing pops out. Yeah, so Valerie Letourneau, in a Facebook post or something, said that she was having issues with her top, saying her breast slipped out of the bra. She said, like, how would a guy like fighting if one of his nuts was slipping out of his cup? It's kind of a weird analogy, but I understand. But seriously, Reebok needs to sort of like custom fit these athletes. If they're going to pay them peanuts, they could at least make sure that they're comfortable when they fight. Misha Tate said that she wears two Reebok bras because she doesn't want to worry about anything like that. That's like, you know, you're in the middle of a fist fight. You don't want to worry about things popping out. Whatever. I just felt really bad for Letourneau. She's such a tough woman, but Joanne Calderwood at 125 looked like a beast. Like, damn, she looked good. 115, she still might be a legitimate option there. I thought she was sort of all hype and no sizzle, but all sizzle but no steak. Is that the phrase? I don't know what I'm trying to say there. And Letourneau was like one of the toughest women in the whole women's MMA. Like, she's badass, and she looks too big for 115 and too small for 135. I think she's perfect at 125. I don't advocate for the UFC opening up all these weight divisions. People are saying, open up a 145 division fight. Well, how many top-tier women's MMA fighters are there out there? I'd rather not water down women's MMA. I mean, like, it sucks that women have to fight in one of two divisions that are 20 pounds away from each other, you know? That's terrible. It's legitimately, like, the worst. But, Once that talent pool fills out, go ahead and start expanding out to the other weight divisions. Once you have 35, a legitimate top 10 in the 115, you know, I'm sure there are fighters on the bottom of both of those lists that would like to move up or move down. And once you're able to do that, it's gravy, you know? Have 5 good fighters in each division. I don't want to see Chris Cyborg reign on top of a 145-pound division while, I mean, maybe Holly Holm wants to fight at 145. She won a championship at 135, you know? I think if you can win a championship in one division, why would you go into the best women's MMA fighters of all time? You know? I just don't think it's a smart idea to do a 145-pound division. 125 seems like a good idea because that's right in between the 2 weight divisions you already have. Although the girls who are struggling to cut down to 115 or are too small for 135, that seems like a good place to, you know, remedy that. Not jump up another 145, or not just get that 125 division settled. You get the point. I'm just rambling now. Now that you've watched this screen forever, but yeah, I got this pick wrong. Let her know by decision. Calderwood proved to be a finisher. Good for her. Also remember that Calderwood can finish her fights. Olivier Aubin-Mercier versus Gauthier or something like that. I'm just not that impressed with Olivier Aubin-Mercier. OAM as I like to call him. He looks like a goddamn beast. But he seems to get rocked pretty easily. I don't know if it's just the hair flying around, but he really reacts to getting hit. And definitely not like it. He ended up getting a submission in the 3rd, which robbed me of this perfect pick. But yeah, good for him. He was like the biggest favorite on the card. I know he lost a fight recently. But yeah, I think once he starts fighting better fighters in his division, he's gonna start showing that he's not that great. All right, best fight of the night right here: Steve Bose versus Sean O'Connor, Slobber Knockers of the Year. They got the fight of the night bonus for $50K for each of them. Good for them. The first round, Bose went stiff and crashed to the canvas like he was backing up, and then he just went stiff all of a sudden, and bam! Fell right down, and then he was able to recover all of a sudden, which I'm like, what the hell? That guy went stiff and he crashed his head into the mat. But yeah, he recovered, then Bose owned round 2, 3rd round, back and forth. Bose won that fight. O'Connell looked so bummed. I was pretty disappointed for him, but he's got $50K and he's gained a lot more fans. And yeah, that was a really, really good fight. Good matchmaking by Joe Silva there. Like, bravo. That was one of the fight of the year candidates. I don't think it was better than Robbie and Carlos. And there was one other fight too. Michael Bisping versus Anderson Silva was a fight of the year candidate? Or would you just say that was one of the most inspiring performances you've ever seen? I don't know. But yeah, that Steve Bose versus Sean Connell, excellent fight. Down Cowboy Cerrone versus Patrick Cote. Cote gets, you know what? You don't need to see this. You've seen my picks already. Let's just have the computers fight it out, and then we can just the episode, right? We're already 24 minutes in, which is insane. Welterweights. Wonderboy, what's his last name? What is his last name? Now I'm blanking on it. Stephen Thompson, that's it. Oh, shit. Whatever. Cerrone versus Patrick Cote. Cerrone got a couple sick takedowns in the first round. Like, Cote was throwing a kick. Cowboy just dived in there, tackled him to the ground. Badass. And whenever they went on the feet, Cerrone was just picking them apart. Punches, kicks, just walking them down. I know Cote is a little over the hill, but damn, Cowboy looked good at 170. He got that knockout in the third. That was badass. Cowboy looked really good that night. After the fight, Cowboy said that he was asked what he means to the UFC, what it means to have a fighter like him who'll step up on short notice, take any fight, move weight divisions. And he said, according to his pay, it shows that he don't mean shit to the UFC, which damn boy, I'm sorry, man, but you know, you're not. I mean, you're a fan favorite. You're one of my favorite fighters for sure. But you're not drawing those. You're not pulling main events. You know, I mean, he pulled a main event in Pittsburgh, but that was a short notice replacement fight. And he pulled a main event in Orlando against RDA. That was a title fight, and he got his ass kicked in the title fight. You know, co-main event on Fox Sports 1. You know, Dana White said that he made $200,000 that night with a post-fight bonus, and said that they talked it out and Cowboy understood where Dana was coming from, saying that you sort of have to win those big fights in order to get that big pay. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but I felt bad for Cowboy nonetheless. In my last video, I picked the main event, Wonderboy versus Rory McDonald, as fight of the night, and it was definitely not that. It was holy shit! I can't believe that there's that much of an age difference. I never really noticed that. Rory just seems so old because he's been in there so long, you know. Yeah, this was an enjoyable fight, but Wonderboy controlled pretty much the entire fight. McDonald of rolls for like a heel hook or a knee bar or something. He rolled in there, grabbed it. Wonderboy was able to get out. Wonderboy just controlled distance, and he started getting loose in those later rounds. You can see him start doing his karate thing, bouncing back and forth. And he busted up Rory's nose again. Rory's nose is busted like to hell. And yeah, Wonderboy got that unanimous. And now he deserves a title shot. Wonderboy deserves that title shot after Lawler and Woodley fight it out at the end of July. I think that he deserves that title shot. I know Damian Maia deserves a shot, but Wonderboy, he beat Rory, one of the previous title challenger. And Rory McDonald, and he beat the previous title holder in Johnny Hendricks.
Everything, as you mentioned, that Rory does is very,
you know, that's pretty good. I mean, he's got like a 7 or 8 fight win streak, but you have those two names at the top of your recently conquered list. I think that puts you in title contention, considering that Damian Maia, Matt Brown, and like Neil Magny and stuff, like people who aren't necessarily at the top of the division. I think you give it to Wonderboy for sure. And then we got McDonald here. I picked McDonald because I thought that he would be fighting for his contract. He just had a baby. He's fighting for his family. But turns out he just didn't have it in him that night. He just couldn't figure out Wonderboy. McDonald's going into free agency. He fought out his contract. I just don't know if he has the charisma to be like a main selling point for Bellator. Like Benson Henderson, he's not the most charismatic fellow, but he's got a look, and he's got a smile, and he can talk. Rory, he's supposed to be like a really, really fun dude to hang out with in real life, but when he's in front of a camera, he's just got that Canadian psycho killer look. Like his eyes looks like he's ready to fucking kill someone. He just doesn't seem like he's just empty whenever he's on camera talking. And he's got a lot of years on him. A lot of years. He's been fighting since he was a teenager. And he's only 26, 27. But he's been through some wars, and his nose is busted up, like bad. He's probably gonna need a while to recover to get that thing fully healed, if it ever heals again. Like, he might have to deal with a broken nose every single fight now. If I was Bellator, I would sign him. I don't care that. We need to start filling out our talent pool. We need to get these. We need to get the fighters that the UFC doesn't lock up, right? So they got Benson Henderson. He's still young enough. I mean, he's going into civil service, or he's going to sign up for the military or the army or armed services to fulfill a civic duty, which is good for him. But, you know, he's going to put his career on pause for a while. Rory McDonald, he could be the face of the 170-pound division, and you know, maybe bring some more fighters over. You know, build up that talent pool. That's what you got to do if you're Bellator. You got to get your talent pool filled out with established fighters, while also signing like young and up-and-coming guys. And that they're like signing a whole bunch of Olympic wrestlers, amateur Division 1, Division 2 champions. It's a smart thing to do, but I think you need that star power, that name recognition, in order to really start getting at more eyes and more talent to come to your product. That said, Rory seems like he might be a kind of guy who doesn't want to fight lesser opponents. He seems like he wants the challenge of fighting the best guys in the world. Like, he said that his fight with Robbie Lawler was one of the best nights of his life, and his body literally couldn't handle any more punishment by the end of that fight. He collapsed. It was bad. I mean, I felt bad for him, but he said it was one of the best nights. He seems to really enjoy that competition. I would not be surprised if he goes back to the UFC, but if I had to tell him, if he's worried about his family, if the damage he's taken is going to alter the way he fights, I would tell him to go to Bellator and get the most money you possibly can. It sucks, because I'd like to see Rory stay in the UFC, get that gold, be the true successor to... I don't think he'll ever be the true successor to GSP anymore, because I don't think Rory will be able to have that kind of stranglehold on the division. But, you know, bring that title back to Canada. That'd be so cool to see. I'll be very interested to see how it all plays out. GSP, he made some news on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, saying that he's going to return to fighting. The UFC and his managers have a few wrinkles left to sort out, and he should be back fighting before the end of 2016, or so he says. We shall see. But some of the interesting comments he made was he'd be willing to fight Michael Bisping at 185. I don't know about if it's going to be for a belt or not. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, considering GSP never fought at 185 before, and he says that he could fight at 185, his natural weight class. But have you seen Luke Rockhold, GSP? You are not going to be able to match up with that dude if he ever makes it back to the title. But yeah, he says he wants Bisping for that most wins in the UFC title. We'll see. He also said that he'd be willing to fight at 155, which would be interesting, because that would put him in line to fight Conor at Conor's more natural weight class, as well as people like Rafael dos Anjos, Eddie Alvarez, Wonder Boy. Gonna take him out. Oh, he almost had him. Anyways, some fight announcements here. CM Punk versus Mickey Gall is official. Potential for UFC 203 in Cleveland. We shall see if that ever happens, but hopefully we can get this over with. I mean, hopefully we can get it over with. Rumble versus Glover Teixeira is off of UFC Fox 20. Rumble's having some family issues, and they couldn't find a replacement for Glover, which was kind of sad. That would have been cool to see Alexander Gustafsson fight Glover Teixeira, but I think that Gustafsson needs that lower ranked opponent. He might still lose. Lachowicz, he ain't no joke, but it would have been pretty tough to see Gustafsson lose that many fights in a row if he would lose to Glover. Also announced is Paige Van Zant fighting Bec Rawlins at Fox 21, August 27th in Vancouver, Canada. That's a good fight. Bec Rawlins is pretty big for 115. Less skilled than Rose Namajunas, but I'd say way more skilled than Caitlin Curran was. Probably more skilled than Felice Herrig. I wish Felice Herrig would finally get back to fighting. I thought she was supposed to... Did she fight? I know I remember her news. I don't know. She must have fought. But I'd like to see Felice Herrig fight more. But yeah, so I'd say this is a good matchup for Paige Van Zant. I think she could win this, but it's going to be competitive for sure. She is returning to the Philippines in October. Good for them. I heard that they just had like a great showing when that Frankie Edgar versus Uriah Faber card was there. Mark Munoz retired in that card. That was so awesome. I don't know. Oh, who the hell was that guy?
He's back up.
Oh, he fought for the title, for the 125-pound title. Oh, I'm forgetting his name. But yeah, he was a star there. I think he got cut. But if he didn't get cut, that could be a good fight to have on there. I don't know who you're going to have headlining it, but good for them going back to the Philippines. I don't know if I mentioned this ever, but Chad Mendez is provisionally suspended by USADA. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it's pretty heartbreaking. Favorite fighters at 145. Yeah, it sucks. But let's see here. Also, Fedor might still sign with the UFC. Dana White says it just shows what a legendary chin that. Oh, there goes Wonder Boy. It just shows what a legendary chin Fedor still has to withstand that, and that yeah, him signing with the UFC seems like it might still be a real thing. I don't know who they're gonna have him fight. 'Cause that Fabio Maldonado fight, he looked like embarrassment. But I'd still like to see it. Fuck it, just one fight, that'd be cool. And the early weigh-ins, they look like they're going to be widely adopted now. They were used in Canada at the Ottawa card. And the Nevada Athletic State Commission is looking into it. I think they're being used by Bellator too. I'm not positive. I think it's. So we'll go into fight of the week. This week is going to be motherfucking Don Frye versus Takayama, Pride 21. I chose this fight because it's coming up on its 5-year anniversary. No, 4-year anniversary. July 23rd, 2002. That's not really the reason why I picked it. I picked it because it's a fucking awesome fight of two dudes just grabbing each other by the neck and punching each other in the head. Pretty awesome. Don Frye, one of the baddest dudes ever. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that fight. Check it out on Fight Pass, or I'm sure it's going to be all over the internet because that's a legendary fight. Oh god. Yeah.
Round 3. Looking to do some damage with the ground and pound, and
we have another week off next week. Here, let me check quick. That there's not a lot of MMA going on next weekend. If anything, it'd be like Fight Pass stuff. And then we go into that crazy ass week of fucking July 7th, 8th, and 9th having full fight cards. Oh, here's a headline just now. Glover Teixeira, Anthony Johnson officially scrapped, but will be rebooked for a future UFC card, so that's cool. Okay, so upcoming events today, June 24th, Bellator 157, Legacy FC 56, and Victory FC 51. July 1st, Legacy FC 57, and July 2nd, One Championship 44. And yeah, so that the next weekend, the weekend after next weekend is a big weekend full of all those crazy things. So we're gonna have a busy week ahead, and you know what? I think we might just go ahead and preview the first two cards. Next week we'll preview the Fight Pass, Eddie Alvarez versus Rafael dos Anjos, and the tough finale, Jacek versus Gudelia, next week. And then on Friday, the day of the tough finale, we'll preview UFC 200 and recap the Thursday card. Or we could do it on Saturday. I like doing it on Friday. Might as well do it on Saturday to recap both of those cards. Until then, I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.